Do you want Dunkin? And Bethany would like some Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate, so she, I guess, will get her Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate.
Hurting my foot was not on the bingo card of the day.
We're getting crazy over here, planning 2 nights ahead. So I came to the conclusion last night that I should replace the 12-volt battery in my truck. The princess has insisted that we go to TJ Maxx. And because she is a pregnant wife, she gets what she wants, I guess. But it exists. So let's go help this Lightning owner that is confused and doesn't know that they can't use version 2 superchargers.
You got baby boy little jacket. It has little ears.
Any place that includes chips should just not include anything with the side, in my opinion.
I totally disagree. You just don't like chips.
In Wisconsin, I say deep behind the cheddar curtain. What would you say for Maine? The lobster curtain? Deep into the lobster trap. Well, it is 6:10 in the morning-ish, something like that. Neither Bethany or I noticed that the alarm clock in the room was actually activated, and that woke us up. And I noticed that the plug share for the charging here said one was available. This is a ViALink or whatever. But I'm walking out here. I threw on my clothes from yesterday and everything just to come out here to plug it in. And I'm seeing that they're not actually available. So I'm just going to take a look here, see if one is done charging, if I can just park next to them and grab the cable. Let's just see what's up. Well, the RAV4 plug-in was done charging. I was able to see that because the charging screen showed preparing, which is the status that it goes to once complete. The Model 3 is still charging. They've got Vermont plates. They've added 40 kilowatt hours, so this must not be the fastest thing. It was unlocked on the RAV4 Prime. I would normally advocate not for touching other people's cars, but when you can see it's done charging, I also didn't, well, I guess I did close their charge port for them, but I unplugged them, plugged myself in. Again, be sure that the other person is done charging if you ever do that. And I'd say in general don't, but this is a little bit abnormal circumstances. Looks like we're at 45% state of charge, so it actually went up 3% overnight. So on road trips, it is kind of good for vehicles to sit not charging occasionally if you're just constantly driving, charging. So that's good. Looks like we're getting 5.6 kilowatts, so I am going to go back to bed. But just a lesson here is, if your hotel has charging and it's busy and for whatever reason you get woken up or something, or even when you do wake up before you start like getting ready for the day and everything, just check if they became available, and then you can always run outside, plug in, and then get a little bit of energy, because since it's 6-something a.m., we're probably not going to leave until like 9:30 if I had to guess. So 3 times 5.6, I don't know, call it 17 kilowatt hours or so. That's a fair amount, and especially when it's free here, so cannot complain about that. See you guys in a few hours. I am going back to bed. Good morning from Albany-ish, New York. We stayed at the Courtyard right there, if I can navigate my finger properly. Out at the truck, the other cars are gone, the RAV4 Prime and the Model 3. And cleaning the windshield, we just ordered some Starbucks. There's a Starbucks, I'm facing it right now. So by the time I'm done cleaning the windshield here, we'll walk over there, grab it, get a few more watt hours in the truck while we do so. And then we'll hit the road. We're heading towards Vermont rather than through Massachusetts. I think we're charged up to like 70% maybe, something like that. Let's see if I can turn the truck on. Let's see, 63%. So fair amount of range, 150 miles of estimated range. So yeah, letting the CarPro Clarify soak a little bit on the windshield on all the dead bugs, and then I'll wipe them off. Well, we got our Starbucks. And it's very stupid because the only way to get from this hotel to the Starbucks, which I would assume there's a fair amount of people that go between the two, and this little office building thing here too, you have to go out to this poorly maintained sidewalk, instead of going on the driveway over there that they just have blockaded, basically. Which I guess for cars makes sense, but they should have it open for pedestrians instead of having to walk all the way around. So I've been ruined by Europe and how walkable everything is. It's just not walkable at all anywhere in America, basically, except for Boston and New York. Well, here's the charging setup we used. These are EvoCharge units. They are 32 amp max. They seem fine. They're on ViALink by Linkwell, which seems to be okay. I scanned the QR code, entered my email, and then activated it, and they're free to use. So cannot complain about that. I mean, I wish they were just plug in and go, but I guess free with an email is fine as well. So we gained 28 kilowatt hour and change, 28.3. I guess that's not really showing up on the screen, but let me unplug and then get the route and everything set up, and we'll continue on. So let's put that back on there. Let's drape that like that, call it good. And let's get my Android Auto set up. We're headed to Vermont. So here is roughly our plan for today. So we're headed up from Albany over to Rutland, Vermont. I don't know if we'll maybe go that way instead. That looks nicer, actually. And then we'll kind of go across Vermont, across New Hampshire, through the mountains. I don't know what, Catskills, I guess. And then kind of down and into the Portsmouth area. So first stop, again, this is really annoying that I can't just set this on the phone. Oh, I guess I can, but it doesn't act like it's going to set on the car. So it looks like we'll get there with 24%. Let me reset some trips here. So I reset trip 1 and trip 2 last night because of the efficiency issue that we were having, that it wasn't showing properly. So reset trip 1 for today's driving. Trip 2 since last night when we charged. And yeah, so trip 2 we'll just have to add, I believe it was 820 miles or so. I'll have to look up the exact amount to get our since home distance. And this trip will be for this charge, obviously. So let me get my iPad set up to get all the stats, and we'll hit the road. Well, we have arrived in Rutland, Vermont. We're at the Tesla Supercharger. This is a very strange 6-stall site. So you can see 3 and then 3. So very odd. That's not usually the case. We still have 2 cabinets, of course. I'm assuming they have 3 chargers or 3 posts per cabinet, I guess. I don't know. Weird. We're at 26% state of charge. We've driven 95.8 miles, and we've used a fair bit of energy, 2 miles per kilowatt hour, 33.69 kilowatt hour in the pack. And things are nice and cool. It is 70 degrees outside, so let me grab my adapter from the freezer, as I do. We'll use the A to Z. That's my preferred adapter. And let's activate the charger here before I even get out. We're on 1A. And switch to ultra wide. We got free air there. And let's do the awkward plug in the adapter. Got some twist in the cable there. Had to untwist it. I'll give you guys a site tour in a moment. Let's see. There we go. Already communicating with the charger nice and fast. So 500 amps. We're ramping up. And we'll probably charge up to 80% or so here, which shouldn't take too long since it's nice and cool out. We shouldn't get any derates. And just for context of where we are, so we are in Rutland, Vermont, kind of middle of the state, west of Woodstock. So we went kind of up and then over-ish. It's a very beautiful drive, actually. And then we'll be heading kind of this way through Portsmouth, through Concord, New Hampshire, and then to Portsmouth-ish area here. So that's going to be the rest of the drive today. There we go, 175 kilowatt into the battery. Put a little bit higher through the port, so that's actually into the battery. I'll turn off the AC because it's fairly cool out. Just let it get a little bit more even to the battery so it gets full rip. There you can see the stats. And let me give you guys a quick site tour. My other phone. So we're at a Stewart Shops gas station thing here. There's 3 gas pumps. So there's an equal number of charging stations to simultaneous fuel sessions. We've got a 1200 amp cabinet here, which is typical. So as you can see there, we have a probably 750 kVA transformer, but let's check it out. It's like we're on, let's see if we have a utility on here somewhere. So GMP, so Green Mountain Power. That's, I think, the utility for most of Vermont, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, 750 kVA transformer. And you can see the 2 supercharger cabinets. These are 350 kVA cabinets. So these are the older version 3 cabinets rather than the 387 kVA. That is more typical these days. And we've got a McDonald's across the street, and we have beautiful views. So, not sure what we're gonna do. Maybe grab some food. I'm not that hungry, but not sure about Bethany. We got 2 Model 3s charging here with us, and I guess technically I'm blocking a stall, but there's still 2 other open stalls, so we are totally fine. So this is a great charging session so far. We're at 48% state of charge. Pin temps are still nice and low, 53C, and we're just very gently tapering down. We're at about 450 amps. So this is basically the peak that it would be with the old charging curve on the F150 Lightning before they did the 500 amp update. And now this is the interim derate temperature state basically. So it'll hold this for a little while, and then it'll start tapering down to 130 or so. And then that'll hold basically to 80% as long as it doesn't cross, I think, 61, 62C pin temperature. So battery is nice and cool as well, 34C. It's just now starting to cool. We also had a Silverado EV show up here, so cool to see. I think that's an LT spec. So 2 Teslas and 2 non-Teslas charging here. Bethany's just chilling.
That's my bag.
I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see. Well, we got some McDonald's. Bethany hurt her foot this morning walking to Starbucks. She like twisted her ankle or something, and it's not doing well for her, which is unpleasant. We charge up to 90% with our going over to McDonald's across the street, so we're set to go. I'll unplug here in just a second. And let's see. So we're going to so many pop-ups. We're going to Dover, New Hampshire, which is pretty much the last charging stop before Portsmouth area. There are some chargers like in Portsmouth, Exeter area, but this one's closer because it's mostly on the way versus kind of going past and then coming back. So we'll arrive there with 38%. We'll probably charge up there, I don't know, probably 80%, just that way we have some driving range for tomorrow when we leave, especially since we'll arrive with 38%. So it won't take that long to get to 80%, as we saw today. It took about half an hour to go from 26% to 80%, an average about 144 kilowatts. So nothing to complain about there. We've got a Mach-E charging there. Cool to see. Those wheels look just like the Porsche Taycan 20-inch range wheels, actually. I'm just noticing that. So let's get unplugged. We have 115 kilowatt hour in the pack at 90%. All the temps and everything are looking great. I'll probably put it in sport mode towards the end of this drive just to cool down the battery, so that way we get another great charging session. But it's actually warmed up to 83 degrees, at least according to that, which I don't really trust. It's actually 67 outside, but hot air coming off of the vehicle and sitting in the sun and all that. So let's unplug, get on the road. Well, we're in, I think this is called Keachie, Vermont. It is beautiful here. We just passed through this little covered bridge with the truck actually passing through. And just look at these rocks and everything. This is beautiful. So no access beyond this point, so you can't go down there, unfortunately, even though definitely people have gone down there, but to have that house or whatever that is would be cool. You've got some water over there and some lookouts. I think that's like a restaurant or something. So very beautiful. Just wanted to stop and get some clips since there was a nice little pull off right there. And just like that, we have arrived in Dover, New Hampshire. That person has a PCA, Porsche Club of America sticker on his Model 3. Interesting. Let's go over some stats here. We've driven 145 miles this leg. We've driven 241.3 miles today, so we're at like 1,060 miles or so since we left home in Charlotte. We're at 38% state of charge, 47.3 kilowatt hour in the pack. Get my adapter out. This is an interesting layout that I'll show you in a second. Bethany's foot still hurts, which is why she has her leg up, looking slightly ridiculous.
Excuse you.
Let's get the station activated. We are on 3C. Yep, 37 cents a kilowatt hour. This is, again, a weird layout. So 3C activated. Recording, I like to screen record these sessions. Adapter is nice and frozen. It is cool out, so we should get a pretty good session here. Again, the awkward plug it in my armpit, basically. And then plug it in there. Just like that. So here you can see the slightly weird layout. So this is a prefabricated supercharger unit site, but then they have this elbow coming off the PSU to a pad to then go underground to then come into this stall so that it's ADA accessible. I kind of had to park a little wonky just to be able to have it reach, because otherwise the stalls are centered in the lines of the parking spot, which doesn't really work that well for the Lightning. I'd have to basically park on the line like I did. But I figured this way, at least that stall can still be used if it needed to be. But I mean, there's 2 other cars here and it's a 12 stall site, so I'm not exactly the most concerned. Sounds like we're charging. We are in fact charging. So still ramping up slightly, but over 175 kilowatt, which is nothing to complain about. And we'll charge up to like 80-90%. Go into CVS, get something for Bethany's foot. Maybe grab some Dunkin, who knows? Do you want Dunkin? Okay. I must say, I love the boost charging curve of the Lightning. We're already up to 54% state of charge. And instead of tapering down immediately, which, I mean, we are a little bit now, but over 180 kilowatts still, because regardless of when you plug in, basically up to a certain point, it will just boost the charge curve, and then you'll still get great charging. So let's head into CVS. Charged up to 90% state of charge, 114 kilowatt hour in the pack. You can see it there. And we are headed to Bethany's friend's house in the Stratham area. So we'll get there with, looks like 84% state of charge. And then we'll spend the night there, and then we'll head up to Maine tomorrow. So kind of right on the Maine border right there, just south of Portsmouth. Yeah, not really sure what our plan in Maine is, but we will figure something out. There you can see we're just shy of 64,000 miles. And Bethany would like some Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate, so she, I guess, will get her Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate. Are you ordering it? Can you get some munchkins too, please? Well, 16 miles later, we're now at Bethany's friend's house, 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour. And let's see, 257.5 miles driven today. So pretty good drive. We're at 106 kilowatt hour in the pack. Bethany, any thoughts today?
I said hurting my foot was not on the bingo card of the day.
No. So hopefully it's better tomorrow.
Wishful thinking, I think, but we'll see.
Yeah. Today was a beautiful drive through Vermont. That was nice. Tonight we'll hang out, and then tomorrow we'll head to Maine. So we'll figure out the plan for the rest of the trip, at least a little bit. Maybe book tomorrow night, figure out where we're staying, and maybe the next night even. That would be quite something if we planned 2 nights ahead. We're getting crazy over here planning 2 nights ahead. But yeah, I mean, we've driven just shy of 1,100 miles so far since we left home, which is nice. The Lightning's a great road trip car, actually. Like, the truck has been ready to go before we have most of the time at these stops, because we have not exactly been moving the fastest. And after 3 or 4 hours of just, like, especially the slower driving, like, we kind of want to just hang out for a little bit. And then Bethany has a tendency to decide that she wants food about halfway through the charging stop, instead of telling me, like, right when we arrive, so then we can go do it, like, and time it with the truck. She usually tells me, like, 5 minutes before we're ready to go, when we're already at, like, 75% state of charge, and then we end up charging to 90.
Well, this man moves fast when he wants to move fast.
So theoretically, we could make it in the time frame of once I've informed, but you don't always move so fast once I've said it.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, see you guys tomorrow, and we'll finally make it up to Maine.
The next morning.
Good morning from Stratham, New Hampshire. I am resetting trip 1. We're just shy of 64,000 miles. And we're going to be heading to some coffee and then replacing the 12-volt battery. So I came to the conclusion last night that I should replace the 12-volt battery in my truck. As far as I can tell, it's original-ish. I'm pulling up the stats right now from the OBD data because it shows the 12-volt battery age. And it seems like it's reasonable to replace it. It's $130-ish. I'll make a DIY video on that separately, so that will probably come out before this road trip video, realistically. So we're doing a little bit of errands housekeeping this morning. So Bethany's getting Dunkin' Donuts because that's what she does in the Northeast. We're going to be stopping at McFarland Ford here in Exeter, New Hampshire. We've got to go to Whole Foods for some Amazon returns, and then we'll start heading towards Maine. Are you excited, Bethany?
Yes.
Do you like Maine?
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see the OBD data. So it's actually not original. It's 490 days old, apparently. So about a year and a half or so, which is not crazy. So I guess this will be the third 12-volt battery in this truck. But you can see there that it drains a fair amount. It's at 75% state of charge right now and charging. So I think it's a reasonable precautionary thing to just replace it, especially since I use the little 12-volt fridge. I have the comma. I charge a lot of gadgets. So I definitely am above average load on the 12-volt system compared to most people. I would also like to say that I am back to using Apple Maps, Apple CarPlay. I just personally find it to be better. Google Maps definitely has its advantages, but I prefer Apple Maps and just how it operates and how it integrates, since I have everything on my iPhone and not on the Android phone. Google Maps is just really wonky, especially the phone and car interaction. Whereas with CarPlay, it's much more predictable, and you can set up everything on the phone and then have it transfer over to the car. So that's a big advantage in my opinion. Well, just picked up the new 12-volt battery. It was $132.50, which is MSRP for the battery. I think they would have tried to charge me more, but I asked if they would honor MSRP I saw online, so they did. So definitely pro tip there to pay attention and ask dealerships to honor MSRP, which is a pretty reasonable expectation when they have an MSRP. So now I'm just going to the grocery store basically across the street. Dealerships usually frown upon people doing their own work in their parking lot, so I'm being respectful of that and going to the dealership or to the grocery store across the street, and I'll just do it in their parking lot instead. And I'll make a separate video on how to do that, but it should be pretty straightforward, and definitely check that video out if that's of interest to you. All the beeps. All the beeps.
It does not seem the cross traffic is beyond the median.
No. So, time to do a battery swap and for Bethany to film it. Well, 12-volt battery replaced successfully. Went without a hitch. Yeah, so time to do the core refund on the 12-volt battery at the dealership across the street. And then we will continue on our road trip. We'll head towards Maine. Again, we have no real plan, which is typical for us, but we'll figure something out. Well, I talked to the parts manager there as I did the refund on the core return. And I guess having the faux MOCO on the battery generally indicates that it's a assembly line battery rather than replacement battery, which generally has the Ford like Motorcraft logo and such on it. So that makes me feel better. I guess it was maybe reset for some reason at some point, so it's actually older than the reset date in the car computer would indicate, which, I mean, 3 years old, it was pretty much due for replacement at that point, so that's not unexpected on a 3-year-old car, especially with above average mileage. So we're headed over to Whole Foods. Bethany, have you done your returns? Mm-hmm. Okay. to do some Amazon returns, and then we'll start heading north to Maine. Finally, it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're not going to make it that far, but we'll still enjoy our time. It's nice to be able to kind of go a little bit more leisurely pace. We slept in. It was nice. So this dealership, McFarland Ford, here in Exeter, they do actually have Ford Chargers, but they're blocked by their inventory cars. So not a great look here. This one, let's see. So this was a lemon buyback, looks like. Whatever, that's a lightning flash. This one's named Watt. It's a 240 kilowatt, 50 cents a kilowatt hour. Until 8 p.m. Public charging unavailable until Tuesday, 7 a.m., 50 cent kilowatt hour afterwards. So I guess maybe they restrict it during the day, it seems. They also have these ridiculous cables. Here's another F150, Mach-E. I like those wheels a lot. I don't know if those are factory or what, but those are sweet. We've got a big grasshopper thing. Wow, praying mantis? I don't really know. So, here's the specs. So these are from 2023, and they're 240 kilowatt output, but it doesn't show the current output. Let's see the handle. So they are 300 amp. Maybe they have a boost function. Who knows? They also have the very silly retracting function. They like ratchet, and they have the blue oval charging network stickers. So this one is taller than that one, it seems. Maybe it's just the function of the pads. Let's see. So this one's 240 kilowatt. Let's see what the other one is. Maybe that one's lower power. So this one's a 240 also. Anyway, not sure, but just want to show you guys that. And then Whole Foods, and then on the road. Well, we are at the Portsmouth, New Hampshire Whole Foods. And over here you can see that there is a Iona site going in. A whole lot of nothing has really happened here yet. But you can see that there is in fact a sign for Iona, just with nothing here yet. So I'm not sure what the holdup is. There's an owl services sign here. So hopefully next time I'm up here that there's actually some progress, and that there's even a station here maybe. That'd be cool. Let's see if there's anything else over here. No, that's just owl and typical PPE requirements, and then a lock on the fence. Makes sense. So that'll be cool to see once that's actually in place. Bethany, do we need to do a Whole Foods haul?
No.
I think we're going to do a Whole Foods haul. Show the world what you got.
Why?
Because why not?
Because that's not so easy.
It's what?
We got cantaloupe and watermelon.
It was 50% off, the watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
And some bread.
Half loaf.
And some cheese.
To go with the bread.
Mm-hmm. And some drink.
Yerba mate. I've never had yerba mate in a glass bottle like this. This is the Enlighten, or not even Enlightenment, just mint. I'm a big fan of mint yerba mate and yerba mate in general, but I feel like this is going to be different and maybe more natural. I don't really know. If someone knows, comment down below. But I'm getting nav set up. We'll head towards the general Portland area and figure out what we're doing. It's 1:25 in the afternoon, so getting a little bit of a late start, and let's hit the road. Well, just for sake of setting nav, we are heading from here in Portsmouth. It drives me nuts that when it imports into here, it shows just the address instead of my location, so it makes routing weird, but I'll just put it to a Tesla Supercharger in Scarborough, Maine. Looks like 47 miles, so we'll head up that way. And we're at 75% state of charge. We've driven 16 miles today so far. Or I guess this trip, 22 miles so far today. So that's since the 12-volt battery is replaced. And the 12-volt battery has charged it up from 56% to 82%. So fairly normal that a 12-volt battery is not fully charged when you get it. But now it's just charging up off of the high voltage battery. And, let's get on the road and we'll figure out what we're doing, or Bethany will figure out what we're doing while I drive. The princess has insisted that we go to TJ Maxx. And because she is a pregnant wife, she gets what she wants, I guess.
Only because I'm pregnant?
Today, yes. I do not like TJ Maxx at all. But I guess we can go in briefly. You get 10 minutes inside.
We'll see.
I do not like TJ Maxx. And I would like to get on the road to Maine, which is the entire point of this road trip.
Yes,
not
I'm
to go
just
shopping
curious,
in Portsmouth.
because this is a nicer area, and TJ Maxx is varied depending on the area to an extent that they're in.
I don't like TJ Maxx.
That's why I pick all your clothes.
Not from TJ Maxx.
Sometimes.
No. Maybe a dress shirt or something, but that's about it. What are you looking for, Bethany? How's your cantaloupe?
Okay.
We made it out of TJ Maxx in under 10 minutes, miraculously. Nice job, Bethany.
It's sometimes a great day in there, and sometimes it's not.
So I've added a stop along our way. So we're going to go to the Supercharger, and then we're also going to go. I'm ruined by having pinch to zoom on Android Auto for a day. So we'll go to the Supercharger there, and then there's a Circle K with a car wash there, and then we'll go into Portland, probably grab some food or something, and then we'll probably head on to Freeport and go from there and figure out the rest of our plan. So let's get on the road, and I'll just turn the truck off just for sake of getting a actual efficiency number here. We're at 64,003 miles. And let's get on the road. So there you can see, nice and reset. Well, we arrived at the, let's see which Supercharger this is. I don't actually know. Portland something, or Scarborough, I guess. The Scarborough, Maine Tesla Supercharger. Do charge here. We're on 1B, I guess. Charge here. We're at 51% state of charge. The nav like lost its place on CarPlay, so I didn't realize that I was missing my exit, so I had to do a roundabout, which is why we ended up here with less. 49.4 miles. We've driven 71.4 miles today. Pretty bad efficiency. I think we had a little bit of a headwind, and the speeds were fairly high here. I mean, there's like no traffic, which is great, but leads to pretty poor efficiency. So we should be activated. We're communicating. Let's see. That should go to 500, and then that's how I know it's working. It's not going to 500 yet, which leads me to believe it may not work. Charging station not detected. Let me try this again, I guess. It didn't seem to fully click into the adapter. It seems fine. There we go. That was a firm click. There we go, 500 amps. So I guess I didn't push it into the adapter hard enough. And we'll probably charge up to 80% and then continue on to Freeport. Figured I'd give a quick little tour here. There's I-95 right there. I-95 is really close, but not the easiest to get to. 1000 kVA transformer, 1600 amp panel, and we have 3 version 3 supercharger cabinets, of course. And there is a Wi-Fi access point on that pole, and we have 12 stalls. Also on Apple Maps, it showed that this hotel, this is I think the Fairfield by Marriott, had a Sun Country Highway level 2. So I'm just going to do a lap and see if I find that, and then show you guys if it's still here. So there is in fact an EV spot. There is in fact a Clipper Creek unit here, Sun Country Highway. I cannot tell if it works or not. But it exists. And it is a 32 amp unit. So I guess since there's a Tesla Supercharger here open to non-Teslas, that, I mean, if you can use that, it's a bonus, but I wouldn't count on it. This also doesn't seem like the nicest hotel. I mean, I've definitely seen worse, but does not seem that nice either. Very dated. Hopefully it's cheap. Does that just say... Oh, I thought that said big parking, but it says bus parking. That makes more sense. So I guess they have buses come through here, which seems reasonable to have parking for that. At Fairfield by Marriott in Scarborough, Maine. You can see the truck is pretty filthy, so definitely going to be good to get a car wash, get some of those bugs off of the front end so they don't fully bake on, especially on the paint up here. Charged up to 80%, so we'll stop the charging here. We're down into the 50 kilowatt hour range. We have 100 kilowatt hour in the pack. And we'll head to get a car wash and then head to Freeport, because Bethany does not want food here in Portland. And the truck's filthy, so we'll do that. Let's get on the road. well, we're charging. There's an F150 Lightning there. There's a, I think, Aria on the other side, Chevy Volt leaving. You got a Rivian R1T and an R1S. And we are at 72% state of charge. Let me see, pull up the trip here. It's always a little wonky pulling it up on here. It's usually like 0.1 different than what the dash says, which is very strange. But 23 miles from Portland. And we're getting 6 kilowatt into the pack. Get the hiccups here. Let's see if this changes a little bit once we turn the truck off. Let's go into all sensors. And we'll see what we're getting into the vehicle. So input current 16 amps. So these are 32 amp units because, again, though that is half of the actual value. But they are at 240 volts, which is great. You can also see 2 miles per kilowatt hour there. Normally these are running at 208 volts, so 240 is great. And yeah, getting about 7 kilowatts. So we're gonna wander around Freeport. So we've got the Tesla chargers down here. There are, I believe, 8 version 2 units. We've got a Model Y. Then we've got an ID4, so we're on the level 2s here now. So there's a ID4, Nissan Aria, Lightning, Rivian, and then we've got another Lightning down there using the Rivian Adventure Network chargers. It's great that there are chargers here for non-Teslas that are fast chargers. For a while, you only had the Tesla fast chargers, and then you had slow chargers for anything else. However, Rivian chargers are just outrageously overpriced, in my opinion. Looks like they just got that one. Let's check out what the pricing is here. So they've got 3 cabinets and they have 6 stalls. So these are actually 150 kilowatt minimum each. So let's do price and info. So for Rivian vehicles, 52 cents a kilowatt hour, and then for other vehicles, 61 cents a kilowatt hour. And that is just way overpriced in my opinion. So let's see. I think I can get it to show the totalizer. Somehow, I don't remember how. Select info. Oh, there we go. So 25,000 kilowatt hour. And these are the newer style posts. So this one, 23,000. This one, 19,000. Don't have anyone in there, so I can take a look here and not be weirding anyone out. So you can see there, 8 kilowatt hour, they're getting 81 kilowatt, price and info. This one's dispensed 20,000 kilowatt hour. So these are actually dispensing a fair bit of energy. Let's check this one out. Looks like the Lightning just went down there trying to use those. I'll help them in a moment. Got another Aria down here just parked in a normal stall. And then here we've got 18,000 kilowatt hour. And this one, we've got 19,000 kilowatt hour. So that's actually very surprisingly evenly distributed, I must say. So let's go help this Lightning owner that is confused and doesn't know that they can't use version 2 superchargers. We've got another Model Y pulling in, and I just saw a white refresh Model Y coming in. Ooh, this R1S has the Michelin Defender LTX MSs. I like those. But that does not look good, the amount of condensation in that light bar. That's like the problem that a lot of Lightnings had. So, Supercharger's starting to fill up. There is another new Model Y coming in here, and then that Lightning is leaving, not charged. They're going over there for some reason. I'm not really sure what this Lightning's up to, but it's surprising to see all Model Ys. Just nothing but Model Ys. As the Pata baby. Well, it looks like the LL Bean flagship here in Freeport is under full remodel. You can't actually go at all, which is very interesting. Apparently a new stream tank, new cafe, and all sorts of stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. There's apparently a big tent. Where's this tent? Our biggest tent ever. New entrance and boot plaza. Apparently there's more shops down the way. It's a flagship reboot. Well, I just unplugged my truck here, and I'm just noticing that this latch mechanism is actually 3D printed, and I'm very impressed by that. It's much better than replacing this entire handle, since you probably can't replace that. So, great to see that. I'll pick up the cord. There's another Model Y coming up. This Lightning has been here, and the guy has been chilling in it the whole time. Oh, brand new Y. And this Rivian's still here, but the other ones are gone. It is 5:22 in the evening. We're charged up to, let's see. We're up to 82% in the pack. So we added, I think, like 15 kilowatt hour for free, which can't complain about that. Let's see. We've driven 94.6 miles today.
What?
Bethany,
What?
how was shopping?
It's good.
What made it good?
Report's always good.
What'd you get?
You got baby boy a little jacket. It has little ears.
Speak up, please.
No.
I got some on clouds from LL Bean. They were on sale, which is, I did not expect to find on clouds at LL Bean. I was expecting only LL Bean things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Patagonia, went to LL Bean, went to a bunch of places.
Yeah.
And now we're going to a place called Nighthawk Kitchen in Freeport, a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
Why there?
Sounded good. Had good reviews. It's new since I've been here last, so I don't know.
Okay. I booked a hotel in Bangor, the Hollywood Casino Bangor. It has 6 Tesla wall connectors. Has a pretty good location and was pretty cheap, so cannot complain about that combination. Hopefully it's good. It has good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
You seem skeptical.
No.
You're not skeptical?
No.
You would never be skeptical, right?
What?
You would never be skeptical.
Totally.
Anyway, let me show you guys roughly the plan, then we'll get to it. So here is roughly the plan. I think it transferred over. So the Nighthawk's Kitchen is just a mile or so down the road, and then we'll continue on, go up 295, I think that is. I don't know, something like that. Is that north up? I guess that is maybe north up. No, there we go. I was like, that looked crooked. And then we'll continue on to Bangor, and then from Bangor we'll end up going to Bar Harbor, Acadia, maybe Lubec, whatever. And then having a full charge there will be a good stopping off point and kind of kick off point for any of those trips. Bethany, how was dinner?
Yummy.
What was the name of the place we just went to?
Nighthawk Kitchen.
It was very good. I had the Rachel. It was a turkey and coleslaw and Swiss and something else sandwich. It was very loaded. It was very good.
Yeah, good bang for your buck.
Yep. Well, I don't know about that. $17 for a sandwich is not exactly a good bang for your buck when it comes with chips. Any place that includes chips should just not include anything with the side, in my opinion.
I totally disagree. You just don't like chips.
Chips are just like, they feel like they have to give you something, but chips cost them like nothing.
Sure, but chips are good.
I guess, but like, I'd rather have something of substance. Chips don't have substance.
I guess.
Okay. Well, you're headed to Bangor. Getting my phone out so I can get CarPlay set up. We're headed to Hollywood Casino Hotel. It's like right on the Penobscot River. Am I saying that right, or am I butchering that?
No, that is the correct way.
Okay. Let's see how far it is. We are still in Freeport. It is 113 miles, hour and 35 minutes. So it should be a pretty quick drive. It's pretty much all on, I think, 95 or 295 or one of those. So it should be pretty much 70 plus the entire way. We're at 81% state of charge. The truck is anticipating an arrival of 28% state of charge. They apparently have 6 Tesla wall connectors there, Gen 3s. So hopefully they work. I have my little adapter to be able to charge on them. And we should be charged up in the morning if all goes to plan. And then tomorrow, hopefully we continue on, but we'll probably leave you guys at the hotel tonight since we have finally made it to Maine. 4 days later?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3.5 more so since we left pretty late on Friday.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. See you guys at the hotel unless we make a stop somewhere, which I don't think we will.
I don't think so. I don't think there's much to stop at.
Nope. Well, we have arrived to our hotel, 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 112.5 miles driven. We're at 22% state of charge. 208.8 miles since this morning. And 466.8 miles plus the 820 since home. So we're going to go check into the hotel. We're at Hollywood Casino in Bangor. There's Tesla destination chargers somewhere. Second floor apparently is what the internet says, but we can only get in this area seemingly until we check in, I guess. So we'll figure out how we get up there.
Third floor.
So we made it up to the actual parking versus just the check-in area. Reserved parking, EV only, which is great. Here's a bunch of the Gen 3 Tesla wall connectors. So there's 4 here. I parked terribly because I just came up to test this quick. We're about to run an errand over to Target, and then there's 2 more over here. So I don't love this parking spot because people could clip it like coming to go down there. I don't know, I'll figure out what spot makes the most sense. But these are not universal wall connectors, so I am going to grab my adapter, which is here. This is just one of the Electron ones. I can link that down below for you guys. And let's see if these are actually set up as 48 amps or what the setup is. So let's just put this here. Take that. And then I'm gonna do the latch as it gets inserted, just like that. And then it can be normal for it to fail first and then work. So we are getting power there. You can see the light there. And let's see how much power we're getting. Find, all right, AC input current. So right now we're getting 12 amps, so it's ramping up. We're at 211 volts. And the duty cycle is 79%, so I believe this should give us 48 amps, so that should ramp up to 24 amps. Which means we should get 11 or so kilowatt. Why did it go to 16 amps? That's weird. So it is sagging a little bit under load, but that's expected. And then 19 amps should go to full 24. So there we go, 24 amps. Well, actually 48 amps at 200 volts. So we're getting about 9.6 kilowatt. Truck is on right now, so it's showing 8 into the battery. Just shut the truck off. It's showing about 8.2 into the battery. Let me pull up the Ford Pass app. And here you can see 8.9 kilowatts, so that is great. So it's showing that we'll get to 100% by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Again, ignore the kilowatt hour and the 1 hour 46 minutes. Sometimes the app is a little wonky. Yeah, there we go. So 8.9 kilowatt, 0.2 kilowatt hour added, and 2 minutes on the charger. So success. We know we can charge on these. We know that they're open, and now we can run some errands. And now I know that there's good charging here, and these are free to use. So that is a great thing. I hit the jackpot here. Available charging with redundancy, so 6 units, reasonable priced hotel, and free charging. So I really can't complain in that regard, and a convenient location. Well, we arrived to the hotel after running over to Target, so we've driven even more miles. 225 miles driven today, 483 miles since reset. So we're at right about 1,300 miles or so since we started with 62,900. And we did 820 in like low change before we did the reset. So I think we'll probably be around 2 miles per kilowatt hour, 1.9, somewhere in there, since we kind of lost that initial data. And so yeah, 15% state of charge. We have 20.92 kilowatt hour in the pack, and it's fairly cold out. It's 55 degrees out, and I'm going to charge to 100% overnight. Let me grab my adapter, and then I'll show you guys how we'll plug in, and hopefully that reaches. I did back in just for easier exit in the morning. So I put my adapter on this Electron 48 amp adapter. Hopefully this reaches. Yeah, I will easily reach. Technically, I'm using the wrong stall, I guess, but there's 6 of these, and there's no one else using them, so I'm really not too concerned. Let's open that up. Just like that. Make that a little neater. That way it's sitting, not fall. Do a little bit of cable management there. And let's see. So it looks like we'll be at 100% at 10:10 in the morning, which is pretty much perfect. And especially charging from 15% is nothing to complain about. So time to head up to the room. We'll give you guys a quick tour. It's nothing special, but actually not bad. And then we'll wrap this video up and send you guys on your way. Well, here we have the room at the Hollywood Casino Hotel in Bangor. Not bad. Lots of towels. Decently clean shower. Nothing to complain about there, with seemingly decent soaps. There I am. And we ended up with the 2 queen. I think that was the only option that was available on Priceline, so or not Priceline, hotels.com. So that's what I booked. It's definitely dated, as you can tell, because there's a Ethernet jack on the desk, and I have not seen one of those in a very long time. And I think we got upgraded to river view instead of the city view, because that is the Penobscot River right there, which you obviously cannot see right now because it is dark outside. Well, we made it. We kind of made it yesterday, I guess, making it to Portsmouth area, but today we officially made it deep into Maine. In Wisconsin, I say deep behind the cheddar curtain. What would you say for Maine? The lobster curtain? Deep into the lobster trap.
No. No.
Why not?
No.
If you're still watching at this point, comment lobster trap, and then that's how I know you'll be one of the true believers or true watchers, fans. I don't know. I'm tired and a bit delirious at this point. It's not even that late. It is what 10 o'clock. So yeah, not that late. So we drove 1,300 and change miles, something like that. Any thoughts? Obviously, we just did Norway, but now we're in the U.S. The great old U.S. of A. What?
You're really delirious. It's okay, though.
Do you have thoughts? That's what I asked for.
You were just speaking. I mean, overall, it was good. It was definitely a different route than I think either of us have ever been, so.
It was great. I like just driving.
I'm aware. But yeah, no. I mean, always good to be back in New England.
Would you do the route again?
I would do it if I was actually stopping in Vermont.
I wish we had driven from Bangor to, like, Vermont straight to Bangor rather than through Portland and Portsmouth and stuff. I feel like that would have been prettier. Through, like...
Oh, you mean just driving, like, the super rural spot of Maine?
Yeah, I like driving on rural, like, logging roads and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely have been a bit different.
More interesting. Anyway, the Lightning's awesome. I missed my 80-mile-an-hour driving being in Norway, but we're back. Heading home, we're going to be going the more direct route, so that'll be a lot faster. That'll be like a one-night stop, probably. I mean, I guess it has to be.
Yeah.
So that'll be basically blasting home from Bangor area all the way back to Charlotte in 2 days, 2 full days.
Which is pretty standard.
Yeah, that's how we normally do it. This time we did it in 3 nights, right? Yeah. Today's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like 3.5 days, 3 nights. And yeah, so if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all on the next one.
Bye.